Hiya folks, Jordan here, lead guide at Canadian Craft Tours. This is going to be a little introduction into how to pour your perfect flight. So we're essentially putting a flight board together when we send out all these cans. And the first one on the flight is this one right here. That's the Parallel 49 Craft Pilsner or other Pilsner if this isn't available. And I'm going to show you how to do a proper pour of this beer. So how we pour a proper Pilsner is like so. Glass on the table flat, just like everybody who told you how to pour a beer before has told you not to pour it. And we are going to pour this vigorously into the glass. Let the foam dissipate on that and pour some more. And the reason why we do this is to knock out some of the CO2 in that Pilsner and to get rid of some of the sulfur. You'll notice the glass we have is generally pretty straight-walled, and that actually allows for the sulfur to leave the head of the beer. So as opposed to a beer where the aromas are being trapped in the head of the glass, those aromas are actually leaving the glass, and that sulfur is leaving the glass. Patience is a virtue, and just let that go until all the foam is subsided and you're good to drink. You can leave the foam about 3/4 of an inch from the liquid. Now you've got a perfect pour. It's going to reduce the bitterness of that beer and make a perfect Pilsner. All right, we've got the Strange Fellows Jongleur. This is a Belgian wit beer, and we're going to pour this a little bit differently than we poured that Pilsner. This has a little bit of lees on the bottom, L-E-E-S, and that actually is proteins and little bits of sediment in the beer that accumulate on the bottom. When this has this can has first been filled, it's probably not necessary to do this type of pour. But if it's sitting on shelf for a little while and then you've cooled the beer down, this one should be served at between 2 and 4 degrees Celsius. And so I'm going to show you how to pour this one properly. This we're going to pour on a little bit of about a 45-degree angle in the glass. Yes, you can chill the glass ahead of time or not, it's up to you. Just going to slowly pour this one along the edge of the glass. Easy does it. About halfway. I'm going to look at this convenient line on the Vancouver Brewery Tours mug that we've got and that you get when you take one of our van tours. Now I'm just gonna, now that I've poured about half of this beer out, I'm going to swirl this around. All right, probably making lots of foam in there. Making a nice hazy beer though. And you'll see at a lot of wheat beers in Europe are actually poured like this. That's how the bartender will pour this beer for you. I'm just gonna pour a little bit more in. Do a 3-stage pour on this one because I'm not getting a lot of haze, so I'm probably gonna have to swirl that really well to get all that wheat out of there. Oh, there's that nice haze. So this is one of those hazy beers. So this is one of the original hazy beers. Cheers. So people, we've got to the epic Trash Panda. This isn't always going to be on their flights. There's a million different IPAs out there, but this is one of my favorites. I'm about a 6-minute walk from my house to this brewery, so I have this all the time. If you have something else, another type of IPA, this is a Northeast style IPA, a little bit lower test. This is just a strong beer, about a 5.5% alcohol. Normally an IPA is about 7%. So this is a somewhat dry but somewhat tropical IPA. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this out. This is considered a hazy, but you're going to see, unlike that Jongleur, it's not quite as hazy as that was. But we're going to go ahead and kind of do a little bit of the same thing in that can, but we'll do it before we open it, just gently. And tap on the lid. It doesn't actually do anything. Superstition. All right, we're going to pour this one out. Again, 45-degree angle on that glass. You make the glass cold or not, depending on how you like your IPAs. Let So this one, typically it's recommended by the brewery that you serve it between 2 and 5 degrees Celsius. So you can see a little bit of haze in there. Not too bad. It's because we gave it a little prompting before we opened the can. Give it another little nudge here, get some of that sludge out of there. You might see little bits, particles. That's called flocculated yeast. If you ever get that, it's not mixed in. That's one reason you want to give that can a little bit of agitation, but not enough that you actually explode it all over the place. One trash panda coming up. Alrighty, and last but not least on our flight, we've got a dark beer. You can kind of notice that we've gone from kind of lighter, simpler flavor palette, nice and balanced, all the way up to this nice dark stout. This is a s'more stout, so you've actually added graham crackers and marshmallows to this beer. Delicious. No longer do you need to sit around the campfire and put something over the fire. You can warm your belly with one of these delicious s'more stouts from Red Racer out in Surrey. So this one, just a pretty simple pour. Stouts, you can actually serve them at about 8 degrees. Some people serve them at 10 degrees, which we call cellar temperature. Yeah, same tilt, slow pour. You know, you don't want too much foam. But what I do with a stout is I actually take that glass and go like this, and I'm gonna put a nice foamy head on there, agitate the heck out of that, and you got a nice foamy head. Oh, lovely. There we go. Have to clean that up, but that's well worth the cleanup. Now it's time to drink the beers. Delicious. Love that craft Pilsner so much. Perfect start to a flight. So this has been how to pour your flight properly, and we'll see you on our next tour, van or virtual. So we've started off here with the Parallel 49 Craft Pilsner. We've gone to the Belgian Wit Beer by Strange Fellows Jongleur, the Trash Panda by Parallel 49, another Parallel 49 contender, and that is a hazy IPA. And we finished off with the Red Racer S'more Stout. So, hey Brandon, are we getting drunk before the event? Because I don't give a